All right, an astonishing flip-flop from Joe Biden approving a controversial oil drilling project in Alaska in the federally designated National Petroleum Reserve. Now, this site contains over 600 million barrels of oil, we are told. The project could eventually produce 180,000 barrels of oil a day. ConocoPhillips has said the project would deliver up to $17 billion in revenue for federal and state governments and local Alaska communities. But the Willow Project has enraged environmentalists, as you might expect, calling it a betrayal of Biden's campaign pledges to curb new oil and gas drilling. If you remember, this is what Joe Biden sounded like when he ran for president.
No more drilling on federal lands, no more drilling, including offshore, no ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. What we have to do is I've said no more drilling off our ocean. I mean, the whole range. But there still has to be the ability to generate some energy. But we can get rid of coal much more rapidly.
So you see the flip-flop there from the campaign to what he just said this week with The Daily Show. Yes, it has dramatically changed, which effectively means that all the arbitrary pain that you felt over energy prices in the last couple years, price of gas in your car to heat your house was way more expensive this past winter. All of the money that you wasted on filling up your minivan and everything else was done on a whim by a White House that was simply confused about who exactly they needed to pander to. All of that pain was manufactured for political reasons. That's what this means. Two separate lawsuits from environmental groups are looking to stop this project now. The project could create up to 2,500 jobs during construction, with 300 permanent jobs, and also bring a lot of money to a native Alaskan tribe, as you'll hear right here.
We have multi-generational families, 3 generations living in 1 2-bedroom house in all of our communities, and oil and gas production will help alleviate that. It's truly a public health crisis. We look at 50 years of production that we already have with the existing Prudhoe Bay, and you see the caribous and bears right on the pipeline. You know, that we can coexist with oil and gas development and still continue our traditional in-your-back lifestyle.
So joining us now is former Governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, and it's good to have you back in the studio.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is a huge project. It's a beautiful project, and Alaskans, more than any other state, I believe, certainly more than the U.S., more than any other country, we can do it safely, we can do it responsibly to develop these resources. I beg to differ, though, when we're labeling what Biden recently did as approval of this big project, because he turned right around then and banned more offshore drilling. And I think what he did the first day, he flip-flopped even the other day, was kind of just a distraction, because as you just pointed out, he doesn't know who to pander to. They don't know. And it's not that they're trying to please everybody. It seems like they're trying to tick off everybody. And to approve one day with, I guess we can label it approval just for the sake of discussion, and then the very next day ban even more opportunities offshore makes no sense.
And nothing about this administration and energy makes any sense.
Right.
They want to pretend like they can just get rid of oil, and they know that they can't. But they also want to win elections based off the idea that they're going to get rid of this resource that they know they can't get rid of. So we're being led by people that are so irresponsible because they're so uninformed, or they're willfully ignorant.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just energy and the energy needs in America and these energy crises that we keep, those are man-made crises. They're Biden-made crisis.
Right.
It's national security. There is an inherent link between energy and security and energy and prosperity. But when it comes to coddling our enemies and asking them, with hat in hand, asking them to produce for us when we have the resources, we're flirting with disaster there. We're going to be owned by these other countries that we're relying on to produce for us.
It's exactly right. We're learning a big lesson right now with this war in Russia and all the reliance on Russian oil in Europe. I mean, it's a huge message of why you can't behave that way, and something that some people saw coming. I want to read you, I thought the funniest part of this story was a statement from the chairman and CEO, I think, of ConocoPhillips, who said, "Willow fits within the Biden administration's priorities on environmental and social justice, facilitating the energy transition and enhancing our energy security, all while creating good union jobs and providing benefits to Alaska Native communities. So he's trying to hit all these virtue signaling points. We're talking about an oil pipeline because we need oil to survive. But now suddenly it's, all these communities are going to be saved, and it's
social justice.
It's like, give me a break.
I'm surprised he doesn't have something in there about gender,
right?
Or,
LGBTQ.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they're just so off base, and it's such a shame because there are a lot of people in this country who know how to do things right when it comes to energy policy. It amazes me that those calling the shots know nothing about it or are willfully doing this to us.
And just how scary it is. There are middle-class families, lower middle-class families, people that work hard every single day have been absolutely gutted by the price of gas. I've got a friend in Indiana that owns a business, and he has employees that tell him some days they can't afford to come to work because they don't have money to put in their truck. So they can't even afford to go get the paycheck because it costs so much to get there. They live 30, 40 miles from the shop. All of that was arbitrarily imposed on us because of some nonsensical climate dream that they had, and they've just thrown that away like that because it's just on to the next agenda, and that no longer matters anymore. All of that pain was just inflicted on people.
Yeah, yes, for 2 years.
For 2 years.
And now, of course, Biden's bragging up his economy, and he's bragging up that the price of oil is down. But relative to what it was 2 years ago, no, it's not down. It's still too high because there's still a lack of supply, and yet it's right there. It's underground. It's waiting to be tapped. Just turn on the spigot, and there we go.
People, gas could have been $2 a gallon this whole time.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Right.
It's amazing. Former Governor Palin, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.